Welcome everyone to Atlanta, Georgia for the fourth NASCAR race of the 2003 season, the Bass Pro Shops NBNA 500. Today we are here for a 36-lap event among 42 of NASCAR's finest, and I tell you, it's going to be one hell of a race. So starting out front, the top 10, Matt Kenseth on the pole for today's race in the 17 DeWalt Ford Taurus. Starting second, the winner of race 2, Jeff Gordon in a DuPont Monte Carlo. Starting third, he is probably the most dominant driver we have in this field. He won last year's championship, he won last race, and he's also the points leader, Tony Stewart. Starting fourth, Mark Martin in the 6 Viagra. Starting fifth, Rusty Wallace in a 2 Miller Lite car. Starting sixth, this is kind of a surprise because he didn't even qualify for last race. Casey Mears, the rookie in the 41 car, starting sixth. So a very impressive run for him. We have not seen a rookie finish in the top 20. The first race of Daytona 500 saw all the rookies get involved in wrecks or engine failures or something like that, because none of the rookies finished Daytona 500. In the second and third race, the highest finishing rookie was Jack Sprague in 23rd. So maybe Casey Mears can change that, or someone else. Starting seventh, Ryan Newman in the 12 Auto car. Starting eighth, Jeff Green, who's had a surprisingly consistent year. He's got a couple top 10s already. Starting ninth, the rookie Jamie McMurray. Lots of hype for him after he won the 2002 race. I believe it was at Richmond, where, he was just a fill-in driver for Sterling Marlin, and he ended up winning the whole race, which is very impressive. And then rounding out the top 10, Dale Jarrett. So as we go through the field here, let's point out some of the drivers that did not make the race. So obviously, the Gorgo homers that made the race include Craig Biffle and then Mears and McMurray. Jack Sprague also made the race. Tony Raines qualified. And Brett Bodine, who did not qualify for the Daytona 500, made it in for today's race. He's a limited time driver, not running the entire schedule, so good for him to make it in. A couple cars that didn't make it in. The 02 car of Brandon Ash did not qualify. The 14 car of Larry Foyt, once again, this is his third time. He did not make the race. The 37 car of Derek Cope didn't make it in, and a 35 of Bobby Hamilton making his first attempt, and a Renzi Racing car, he didn't make it in either. So 4 cars didn't make it in, but we do have a very interesting field here. Definitely set to have a great race. So let's get those engines fired. Let's start off the fourth race in the 2003 season. 42 cars, 36 laps, only one winner here at Atlanta. Green flag as Matt Kenseth leads him to the start of this race. Something wrong with Casey Mears' car, I think, as he's dropped back quite a bit already. Matt Kenseth right now, your leader. We have seen wrecks in the first lap for 2 of our first 3 races. Will we see one today? As they go 3 wide. Look at that. Matt Kenseth, if he's going to lead lap 1, green flag still. Tony Stewart right now second. He's hungry. As the points leader, obviously, a win here would be great for expanding his lead. As we got cars, Dale Jarrett upside down. Brett Bodine around. Ricky Craven in the wall. Let's see what happened. So it looks like Jamie McMurray gets turned by Daytona 500 winner Ricky Rudd into John Andretti. And that starts a huge wreck. Dale Jarrett ends up on his side. Bill Elliott involved, Kyle Petty, Brett Bodine. And up here, a second wreck happens. Let's focus on that. Racing back to the yellow flag, the 32 of Ricky Craven gets turned into Kurt Busch, who is now in another wreck. Kurt Busch has wrecked every race. None of it has been really his fault. But the 97 car, the second-year driver, in trouble once again. Cars on pit road at lap 3. And I think Matt Kenseth gets off first. Then Tony Stewart, Rusty Wallace, a few others. So yeah, pretty big wreck to start off the race on lap. When we come back to the line, it'll be lap 7 out of 36. We got a few cars a lap down. Dale Jarrett, Brett Bodine, Tony Raines. Jeff Green is your leader right now. He's had a surprisingly consistent year with top 10s all around so far. Jeff Green, rookie Jack Sprague second, and Kenny Schrader third. And look at that, the damage from Dale Jarrett's car causing him to fall behind, and that leads to Matt Kenseth getting put in the wall. No caution, but not good for that 17 team. As I can't believe that Jeff Green's out up front. Look at this top 5. It's just very weird. Jeff Green up front. Jerry Nadeau up in second. Ken Schrader third. Jack Sprague fourth. And then Rusty Wallace in fifth. But some of the underdogs getting a turn to be in front here. Going through the pack. Very tight racing. And they're going 4 wide. Look at this. Look how tight they're racing. I cannot believe they haven't wrecked again. Lap 15, we got a new leader. Rusty Wallace taking the blue deuce to number 1 as he just got by Jeff Green for the front position. Man, Jeff Green has had a surprisingly good year. He's got 10th place finishes back to back, and I believe he actually got 6 at Daytona. So I don't think anybody really expected this out of him, but it's great to see new drivers get in the spotlight a little bit. So very good job for Jeff Green. Now, before this race, the best finish by a rookie was Jack Sprague in 23rd place in the second race. And now we have 2 rookies in the top 10. So very good day for the rookies after a poor start to the beginning of the year, as Mark Morgan getting by Jeff Green for the second position. Rusty Wallace, still your leader, trying to get Dodge its first win of the year. Battle for second place right now. Ryan Newman just got up to second place, so now Penske is 1 and 2. So Roger Penske, team owner Penske Racing, obviously he must be very happy seeing his cars take the top 2 spots. But yeah, Rusty Wallace pulling out to a huge lead. If he can hold on to this, he'll get a win, and he'll be the 4th winner this year in 4 races. Very competitive though for second place and beyond. As Greg Biffle making it 3 wide with Jack Sprague and Bobby Labonte. Greg Biffle just took 2 positions there in one move, up to 9th place. I think another driver we need to focus on right now is Dale Earnhardt Jr. He is running in the top 15 for the first time this race, and he's just had some bad luck this year. He's been involved in wrecks at the Daytona 500. He was involved in the wreck last race, which sucks because he's had really good runs. He was started on a pole one race. Unfortunately, wrecks have caused him to be outside the top 30 in points, but a good finish here in the top 15 could bring him back. As you see, he's got some damage from rubbing the wall a little bit, but I think his car's okay. As we go up front, Rusty Wallace just dominating this race. Lap 30 sees a huge wreck. Todd Bodine, the lap down car, tries to block Elliott Sadler. Very stupid move. And it results in Bodine coming up, hitting Elliott Sadler, and then watch this. Boom! 1 hit, but then there's more. Ricky Craven just pile drives the 54 car up and over, and Kyle Petty also involved. Let's see another view of that. Just a very stupid move by Todd Bodine. He should have let Elliott Sadler pass, especially because the 54 was a lap down, but I guess he kind of got paid for it. Poor Johnny Benson, though. He was running a good race in the top 20, and then this happens. Very bad moves by the spotters, though. That 32 and 99 team did not see that coming. Yeah, let's hope that the 54 Todd Bodine, he's okay. But that was a very serious wreck. Lap 34 right now. It's going to be a green-white checkered. Coming back to the line, we'll have 1 lap, and then it'll be a white flag, and then the next lap after that ends the race. So right now, Rusty Wallace has been doing a great job dominating. And now his big lead over Ryan Newman has been cut. So now the playing field is level. Can Rusty Wallace hold on? Will his teammate take the lead, get his second career win, or will someone else get the win? Green flag here, 2 to go. Rusty Wallace got a good start there, but Ryan Newman still lurking as Mark Martin trying to take second. Look at Ken Schrader in the top 5. Very good run for that unsponsored team. Maybe this will get them a sponsor, a good run like this. Greg Biffle hanging in the top 5. This would be the best finish for a rookie if he hang on to his position, as Rusty Wallace going to the white flag. Remember, a caution here does end the race. But I think Rusty Wallace might win regardless. Coming to the white flag, he has pulled out to a big lead. Mark Martin got to second briefly, but the 12th car has gotten it back as Greg Biffle up to 4th. Mark Martin up to second now. They're trying to catch up to the leader, but Rusty Wallace, I think he's gotten too big of a advantage here. Coming to the checkered flag, Greg Biffle trying to get around Ryan Newman for 3rd, but Rusty Wallace getting Dodge's first one of the year, taking the 2-car to victory lane at Atlanta. Second place is the 6 of Mark Martin. 3rd is Ryan Newman. 4th, Greg Biffle. 5th, Sterling Marlin, another top 5. Very impressive. 6th, Tony Stewart. 7th, Michael Waldrop. 8th, Bobby Labonte. 9th, Kevin Harvick for his first top 10 of the year. Rounding out the top 10, Jeff Gordon. Welcome everyone to Darlington for the Carolina Dodge Dealers 400. We are here today for the 5th NASCAR race in the 03 Winston Cup Series season, and I tell you, it's going to be an exciting one. But before we go through the lineup, our thoughts and prayers go out to Todd Bodine, involved in a serious crash last race that saw him flip over and take a driver's side impact. He's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks, maybe longer or maybe less, but thankfully he's okay, thankfully, because of the technological improvements NASCAR has made over the years to make our cars safer. He will be able to race again by the end of the year if he chooses to do so. But for now, Jason Leffler taking over the 54 car for at least the next 2 weeks. After that, the future is uncertain for that 54 team, sponsored by National Guard. But now that we got that out of the way, let's look at our top 10. Starting on the pole today, Dale Earnhardt Jr., a surprisingly bad start to the season. He was involved in wrecks for the first and third races, and in the second race, he didn't do that good either. The most recent race we just ran at Atlanta, he actually did pretty good. He finished in the top 20, but he is currently outside the top 30 in owners points. After this race, remember, this is the 5th race, and after that, we are no longer going to use the 2002 Winston Cup owners points. We're going to use the 2003 Winston Cup owners points to determine go homers. So he definitely wants to stay out of that spot. Maybe a win here, or at least a top 10, could guarantee that he doesn't have to worry about being a go home driver. Starting second, Jeff Gordon, race 2 winner. Starting third, Greg Biffle, surprisingly good run from last race, finishing in the top 10, looking to capitalize off of that. Starting fourth, Mark Martin. And starting fifth, another Roush car, Matt Kenseth. Starting sixth, he was the 02 champ, and he's currently second place in points, Tony Stewart. Starting seventh, Ricky Rudd, the Daytona 500 winner. Starting eighth, last week's winner, Rusty Wallace in the 2 car. Starting ninth, Bobby Labonte in the 18 Interstate Batteries car, runner-up a few races ago. And rounding out the top 10, Steve Park in the 1 Pennzoil car. So as we go down the field here, looking at the go homers, Biffle, Mears, McMurray, and Sprague all made it in. The 74 car of Tony Raines also qualifying for today's event. And Larry Foyt in the 14 managing to qualify on time for today's event. The only car that did not get in, I believe, is Derek Cope in the 37. But yeah, definitely going to be an interesting event today at Darlington. Who will get the win in this 31-lap event? Pace car headed down pit road. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon leading him to the start of this 31-lap event at Darlington. Green flag for the Carolina Dodge Dealers 400. And a good start for Dale Jr. Remember the last time he was on pole, he actually had a really bad restart, fell back a couple of positions, and almost caused a lap run wreck. But this is exactly the start this Dale Earnhardt Incorporated team wants to see. A win here would be so good for the 8 team. As Greg Biffle pushing Earnhardt Jr. up to second. Here comes Greg Biffle trying to make a pass for the lead. And the rookie making a pass on the veteran. Greg Biffle, your new leader. As Dale Jr. now taking the high side, and he's going to be shuffled back a bit. So that was a good run there for Dale Jr. But Greg Biffle, what an impressive start to the race for this rookie. As your top 5 right now, Greg Biffle, Dale Jr., Matt Kenseth, Mark Martin, and Jeff Gordon. It's lap 8 out of 31, and team owner Jack Roush has to be very happy. Look at where his cars are right now. Greg Biffle's in first, Matt Kenseth's in second, and look at that, Mark Martin's in third. So Roush Racing right now top 3. The other Roush car, Kurt Busch, reportedly having troubles with the car. And look at that, we got a wreck. Kyle Petty, Jeff Green involved, Jack Sprague, Kenny Wallace, lots of cars. What happened there? Let's see, take a replay. So it looks like Kyle Petty and Mike Skinner got involved as Petty tried to make the pass, but not enough room there as he gets involved. And then up there you could see several cars colliding. Mayfield, Elliott Sadler, Ryan Newman involved. Take another view of that. I don't think anybody's going to leave the wreck. Not many people had that much damage. As you can see, it looks like Jeff Green, Jeff Burton, and then the 19 car of Jeremy Mayfield. Not much success on the track so far this year. But yeah, definitely interesting. Oh, it looks like Jeff Green might be done for the day. His car's smoking. He actually had a really good start to the year. 3 top 10s in his first 3 races. And now he would probably not finish this race. As you can see, the Roush cars are your top 3. Then Jeff Gordon, and then Bill Elliott rounding out your top 5 for today's race at Darlington. Commentating with a lisp and having allergies like cold-like symptoms, it's not that easy. But I love doing this. I love seeing the cars on the track fighting for the win and doing all they can to take home the checkered flag. Right now you can see the Roush cars are the top 3. Jason Leffler and Jeremy Mayfield both a lap down after repairing their cars. A few cars did leave the event like Jeff Green and Terry Labonte, but here they come, green flag. Yeah, Jeff Green, Terry Labonte, and Kyle Petty, I believe, were the cars that retired. As that 16 car has been leading every lap. A surprisingly good run from Greg Biffle. I don't think anybody expected this out of him. But, I mean, we'll take it. I mean, we love seeing drivers that are relatively new or haven't really been in the spotlight yet get a good win or at least a good run and some exposure on television. Greg Biffle still leading. Matt Kenseth up to second. He hasn't gotten a win yet this year, but I think this might be his time if he can get around that 16 car, that is. But here comes Mark Martin, the 6 car, taking second. What's going on with Matt Kenseth? I hope I didn't jinx him, but he's fallen back to 4th now, and he could be outside the top 5. Oh no, he just came down under Bill Elliott. Mark Martin holding on to 2nd place right now. Greg Biffle, your leader after 13 laps. Well, lap 15, we got a battle for the lead between teammates Mark Martin and Greg Biffle, the veteran and the rookie, dueling it out for the lead, and Mark Martin, your new leader. Who's going to get the lap? It's going to be side by side. Mark Martin leads that lap. Yeah, very good day for Roush Racing. Lap 27, we got 4 laps to go, and now the 3 leaders have approached on lap down traffic, as you can see right there. Casey Mears, Mike Skinner, Tony Raines, all 1 lap down, or they're about to be 1 lap down. Can Matt Kenseth maybe capitalize off this and try and get the pass, or will Mark Martin still hang on? These 3 cars have really kind of big lead. Ricky Craven up to 4th now. An impressive run from his Pontiac team. Jeff Gordon 5th, Sterling Marlin 6th, Bill Elliott 7th, Tony Stewart 8th, Dale Jarrett 9th, and Bobby Labonte 10th. Right now, let's see what's going to go on here as, the 4 car caused the 17 to slow down. That's going to help the 6 team in this battle of teammates. Casey Mears right now, he's got a slow car. And Mark Martin going to get the pass around him. So those lap down cars did not result in any position changes for the top 3. Mark Martin still your leader, and he's got a big lead now ahead of Matt Kenseth. I think this could be his race. This could be his race to lose. Sorry, a list. Coming to the white flag, 1 lap to go for Mark Martin, and I don't think anybody's gonna be stopping him. He's got some lap traffic there. Jerry Nadeau, Larry Foyt, Matt Kenseth's in second right now, just past the lap down car of Jason Leffler. But I think this is all Mark Martin. As you can see there, Greg Biffle third. Battle for position between him and Ricky Craven. As we're coming down the backstretch, here comes Matt Kenseth. Can he do anything about it, or is it too late? Coming down the final turn, Larry Foyt and Mark Martin side by side as Matt Kenseth riding the rear of Mark Martin. And yeah, Mark Martin, he's going to win this race here. Race 5 at Darlington goes to Mark Martin. As it looks like Roush finishes with 1, 2, 3. Oh no, Ricky Craven disrupted that. A last lap pass for third, and Ricky Craven gets the third spot. Greg Biffle fourth, Jeff Gordon fifth. But Roush did get the top 5. 3 out of top 5 goes to Roush. Jeff Gordon finishes fifth. Bill Light sixth. Sterling Marlin, another top 10. Man, he's been so consistent. Seventh goes to Dale Jarrett. Eighth, Tony Stewart. Ninth, Michael Waltrip. Rounding out the top 10, Bobby Labonte. Welcome everyone to race 6 of the 2003 Winston Cup Series. We are here today from Bristol, Tennessee for the Sharpie 500, and man, it's definitely going to be a great race. I mean, Bristol, one of the most interesting and unique tracks on the circuit for being so small and so unpredictable. Let's roll through the field here. Jamie McMurray, the rookie, starting on point today. Pole sitter Jamie McMurray. I bet it feels nice for him to say that out loud. He is officially a pole sitter, his first ever NASCAR pole, and this young driver hoping to get his second career win after winning last year in an upset and just his second start as a backup driver for Sterling Marlin, which I don't think anybody's going to stop talking about because it is a record for quickest start to finish, or for quickest win for a rookie. Let's put it that way. I'm not very good with words, but as you can see, Jeremy McMurray on the pole. Starting second right now, Dale Earnhardt Jr. He desperately needs a top 10, a good run right now. He's 31st in points, and he wants to be inside the top 30. Starting third, Mark Martin in the 6 Viagra car. And starting fourth, his teammate, Matt Kenseth. Mark Martin and Matt Kenseth actually went 1 and 2 last race, so a very impressive run from Roush Racing, hoping to continue that hot streak. Starting fifth, Rusty Wallace in the 2 Interpret. Another race winner this year. Starting sixth, Dale Jarrett in the 88 UPS car. Starting seventh, Bill Elliott in the 9 Dodge Dealers Interpret. Starting eighth, Jeff Gordon in the 24 DuPont car. Starting ninth, Jimmy Johnson in the 48 Lowe's car. Running at the top 10, Jeff Green in the 30 AOL car. So now looking at our field here, it's a bit interesting because now we are using the 2003 owners points for the Go homers. So a couple cars are now Go homers that you wouldn't think. Terry Labonte right now 36 in points. He is a Go homer. Kurt Busch also a Go homer because those two drivers have been involved in multiple wrecks and just bad finishes. A few cars are no longer Go homers. McMurray's no longer Go homer. Biffle's no longer. Jack Sprague in the 0 car also no longer Go homer. But the Go homers that did make the race include Mike Wallace, Casey Mears, Labonte, Kurt Busch, Hideo Fukuyama in the 66 car. Derek Cope in the 37 car also making it in. A few cars did not make it in this race. The most notable, probably Christian Fittipaldi. He's attempting his first race in the 44 car for Petty Enterprises, his second race of the year overall. He did not make it in that 44 Burger King car. Another driver that didn't make it in, Larry Foyt in the 14 team for AJ Foyt Racing. So those two drivers did not make it in on time, as well as the 54 car of Jason Leffler did not qualify for today's event. Those 3 cars didn't make it in. So now that we've gone through the field in the Go homers, Let's get the 75 lap event at Bristol started. Jamie McMurray and Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading him to the start of this 75 lap event at Bristol. Green flag here. And what a good start from Jamie McMurray. McMurray out in front. Dale Jr. slides to the bottom line, gets second place. Mark Martin third. Rusty Wallace now up to fourth. And Bill Elliott rounding out the top five. Jamie McMurray leading in NASCAR for the first time since his victory in 2002. Dale Earnhardt Jr. right now he's riding in second place. Maybe he can get around that 42 car and lead some laps of his own. Despite being on the pole for 2 races this year, he hasn't led any laps. He was on the pole at Darlington, and he didn't lead there. He got passed by Greg Biffle on the backstretch. And then at Atlanta, when he was on the pole, he ended up falling back outside the top 10 due to car problems on the first lap. Right now, Jamie McMurray getting a second or so lead ahead of the 8 car. As we run down the field here, Derek Cook last. $14 out of 75, and we got a new leader. It's Mark Martin. Lap 22 now. We have a caution. Not sure for what. It looks like a debris caution. I looked on the replay and nobody spun out, so it must have been a debris caution. As these cars are now trying to get sorted out. Looks like we're going to see some pit stops here too at Bristol right now. Hideo Fukuyama kind of got saved there. He was about to go lap down when the caution came out, and I'm not sure why. No. Rusty Wallace, your leader now. That could change as we are going yellow flag pit stops. Let's see who wins the race off pit road. Looks like it's going to be Rusty Wallace. That was a little bit fast there, Rusty. I think he might have sped there, but who knows. Tony Stewart was speeding on pit road, and that's going to put him a lap down. He had to go back, serve his penalty. Tony Stewart 1 lap down. This is a big change here as Tony Stewart was in the top 10. I was doing pretty good. But that 20 car no longer ruling in contention to win unless he can get his lap back and work his way back up the field. That's going to be very frustrating for that 20 team. And what? Kevin Harvick looks like he was also speeding. Kevin Harvick was speeding too. He's also going to be a lap down. Big shocker here as 2 of the favorites to win now a lap down. Rusty Wallace currently your leader. Bill Elliott second. Mark Martin third. Ricky Rudd fourth. And Matt Kenseth rounding out the top 5. About to go green here. We got a couple cars that are a lap down. Green flag here as Rusty Wallace gets a good restart. Joni Nemechek also lap down. So is the 30 car of Jeff Green. As now the high side is the place to be since all the lap down cars on the low side. Tony Stewart's got a good run for the lap down cars, trying to get his lap back. As they're all bunched up there. Look at this. Hideo Fukuyama 1 lap down. Kevin Harvick a lap down. He's not in contention for this position here. Dale Jr. right behind him, trying to get around that lap down car. Still your leader though, Rusty Wallace. As look at this, we almost had a wreck here between Ken Schrader, Jeremy Mayfield, and Jack Sprague. Very aggressive now that all of these lap down cars are bunched. Look at this, 3 wide. Dale Jr., Robbie Gordon, Hideo Fukuyama. Fukuyama hits the wall, and Jimmy Johnson gets loose. That was almost a wreck. Very aggressive racing as Jimmy Johnson looks like he's very loose here. Does he have a blown tire? I don't know, though. Aggressive racing is not that unusual here at Bristol. Still your leader, Rusty Wallace, but Tony Stewart catching up, trying to get his lap back. 43 now, and our pole sitter, Jamie McMurray, about to go 1 lap down. He had a pretty poor pit stop, and that led him to starting towards the rear of the field. As Rusty Wallace now lapping our pole sitter. Jamie McMurray, unfortunately, he will probably not be getting a good finish out of this. Very frustrating. As Tony Stewart's still behind the 2 car, trying to get around him and get his lap back. Look at that. Look how close. But Rusty Wallace getting the block He knows that Stewart's a threat, and if a caution were to come out with Stewart in front of Wallace, then Stewart would start at the end of the field and get a huge advantage over that 2 car, and he would be able to work his way back up in front of the pack. But definitely a very daunting task for that 20 team. Rusty Wallace, clear leader. Second place right now, Bill Elliott. Third, Ricky Rudd. Fourth, Matt Kenseth. And fifth now, Kurt Busch working his way up to the top 5. He's had a really rough year with wrecks and poor finishes. Outside the top 35 right now in points, he's actually a Gorgo homer, but he is in the top 5, so a top 5 here could put him up inside the top 35 and get him out of the Gorgo homer status. Trouble on lap 63, Hideo Fukuyama has a blown engine, and that could bring out the caution here. He gets to the low side, so I think we're going to stay green, but that has led to a bunch of cars getting punched up here. Hideo Fukuyama was running in 39th position, and he is now going to be done for the day. That 66 car out of the race. So very unfortunate for Hideo Fukuyama, but when you're on a lower tier team, engine failures and car problems are very likely to happen. Take a look here. Rusty Wallace just still been dominating this race. There's no doubt about it that he is the driver to beat. As we see right there, Hideo Fukuyama, his car's done. Surprised it didn't bring out the caution. I thought for sure that was going to be a caution. But Rusty Wallace still dominating. Tony Stewart is back right on the bumper of Rusty Wallace. He really wants to get his lap back. But Rusty Wallace not allowing him as he's blocking every move. Rusty Wallace still your leader with just a couple laps left. Coming to the white flag now, Rusty Wallace, this is his race to lose. He just has to make one more circuit around this track, and he can be declared the winner, the first 2-time winner in the 03 season. Coming to the checker flag, it's going to be the Blue Deuce taking home the checker flag. Rusty Wallace wins at Bristol, and he is now a 2-time winner in the 03 season. Second place, Matt Kenseth. Third, Bill Elliott. Fourth, Ricky Rudd, and a very good finish from Kurt Busch, posting his first top 5 finish of the year. Fifth place, sixth, Mark Martin. Seventh, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Eighth, Dale Jarrett. Ninth, Greg Biffle, and 10th, Ricky Craven. So that's going to do it for race 6. Rusty Wallace getting a big win for Penske Racing. Welcome everyone to Texas for race 7 of the 2003 Wednesday Cup season. We are here today for the Texas 300, and I tell you, it's going to be one exciting race. Let's run down the field here. Starting on the pole, Jeff Burton, kind of a mediocre start to the year for the 99 car, 1 top 10, and they haven't had to worry about being a go-home driver, but not exactly the start to the season that 99 team wants. So Jeff Burton looking for a good finish here. Starting second, Jeremy Mayfield. This is a team that has been worrying about being a go-home team. They right now are outside the top 30 in points, so very close to being a go-home team. That 19 car definitely wants a good run here. Starting third, another driver we haven't talked much about, Johnny Benson in a 10 Valvoline car. A good start for that Pontiac team. They definitely want to get a top 5 or even a top 10. Starting fourth, Kurt Busch, who had his best run of the year last week at Bristol, finishing 5th. Starting 5th is Jeff Gordon in a 24 DuPont car. The starting 6th is the 8 Budweiser car of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Starting 7th, Jamie McMurray, who started on the pole last week, but a poor pit stop resulted in him finishing 30th, and now he is a Gorgo homer. Obviously, he made it into today's race, a very good qualifying run, but he needs to back it up with a good finish. Starting 7th, the 9 car of Bill Elliott. Starting 9th, a good qualifying run from Jack Sprague in the 0 car. Rounding out the top 10, Ryan Newman, second in points right now. Running down the field, only one car didn't make it in. It was the 54 of Stacy Compton. And actually, a big Cinderella story here for Hideo Fukuyama. the part-time driver from Japan, wasn't even going to attempt this race, but he saw his team saw the low entry list and figured that they had a chance at qualifying, and they got their best qualifying run of the year. They're going to start 14th. So Hideo Fukuyama starting 14th today's race, definitely a driver to look out for. Maybe he can get a huge upset with a top 15. Brett Bodine as well, a part-time driver. He missed the Daytona 500 but qualified at Rockingham, and now he's going to make his second start of the year. Tony Raines as well, he qualified. Casey Mears qualifying for today's race. So yeah, definitely going to be an interesting field with a very unusual top 3 starting the race. But now that we've gone through the field, let's get the engine started. Start off this 51-lap race at Texas. Pace car headed down pit road. Jeff Burden and Jeremy Mayfield leading him to the start of this event at Texas. Green flag for the Texas 300. Burden getting a good start here. And that low side definitely working better than the outside line as Johnny Benton up to second place. They're going 3 wide back in the pack for, I believe that's 12th position. But right now all the focus is on Jeff Burden, the pole sitter. Looks like he's going to lead the first lap of this event, but Johnny Benson riding the rear end. That 10 car definitely hungry for a win, or at least a good finish. He hasn't really been in contention to win any races this year. So it'd be really good to see Johnny Benson in victory lane at Pontiac for MBV Racing. As we run down the field, let's take a look, see where everybody's at. You actually got a couple of rookies in the top 10. Jack Sprague running, I believe that's 8th. And then Jimmy McMurray running now 4th. Lap 8, we've got a new leader. Johnny Benson up to front now, passing the 99 of Jeff Burden. That 10 car taking the lead, marking the first lead change of the day's race. Jeff Burden back to second place. And Jamie McMurray, actually a very good run from that 42 team. They're in 3rd. But it looks like they're going to get passed by, or he's going to get passed by the 24 of Jeff Gordon. Actually, he holds him off. 5th place right now, Jeremy Mayfield in the 19 Dodge Intrepid. 6th, Jack Sprague, a good run from that 0 team. 7th, Kurt Busch. 8th, Ryan Newman. 9th, Mark Ryan running at the top 10, Steve Park. Coming off the heels of the announcement that Pennzoil was leaving the 1 team in 2004, he's determined to prove them wrong and get a good finish. I mean, we really haven't talked about Steve Park so far in this year. He hasn't really done much. So he wants to prove himself and get a top finish at today's event. Still your leader right now, Johnny Benson in the 10 car, trying to hold out for as long as he can. Lap 14, we have a battle for the lead. Rookie Jamie McMurray making his attempt. He's using the low line. Can he get under the 10 car? He does, but that 10 car of Johnny Benson still hanging on. Who's going to lead this lap? Benson does barely, but I think the 42 has the advantage here, coming to the low line, unless the 10 car can get around. But they're side by side for the lead. Fierce competition between 2 underdogs in this field. It'd be great to see either one of them enter victory lane. As looking at the rest of the field, Jeff Burton 3rd, Gordon 4th, Mayfield 5th. As the lap traffic of Tony Raines could shake this situation up, as McMurray finally getting around the 10 car, and he's going to lead his first lap of the day. Oh, we got a caution. 1 car on his roof. Dave Blaney, what happened? Let's take a replay for the first wreck of today's event. So lap 15 sees this harsh wreck. John Andretti got turned by Kevin Harvick into the 77, and he's just barrel rolling down the field. A hard hit from Dave Blaney there. Let's hope he's okay. He just flipped 15, maybe 20 times. And Blaney, yeah, his car's crushed. And we've already seen enough injuries to this season. We've seen Michael Waltrip out with a 1-week injury. Todd Bodine recently had a harsh crash. Man, Dave Blaney is walking out under his own power. He's okay. Thank goodness. I'm just so thankful to see that he is all right after that wreck. But that could have been a whole lot worse. I mean, I'm just so lucky that, or we're just so lucky that NASCAR has these safety procedures in place, the Hans device, these types of safety protocols that allow drivers to be a lot more protected. As we are going to pit stops right now, McMurray in front Well, let's see how long that lasts. I remember at Bristol, he was in the top 10, and then a pit stop was botched, and that took him outside of the top 30, and he had to work his way back up just to get a 30th position finish. But the 42 car coming down, as you can see, Tony Raines, he's a lap down. He made his pit stop early. Benson is second, Burton third, Gordon fourth, Mayfield fifth. They're going down. So let's see who wins this battle off of pit road as they are approaching their pit stops. Yeah, just a hard crash of Dave Blaney. I'm glad he's okay. Obviously, he's going to be taken to the infirmary, obviously, just to make sure, as Benson's going to beat McMurray off to the start. Benson wins that race off pit road. Gordon and Newman were side by side. I don't know who got it there. Mayfield gets off. Jeff Burton, unusually long pit stop. He just lost a couple positions there. Johnny Benson winning the race off pit road. McMurray second. Newman up to third now. Very good pit stop from that 12 team. Gordon fourth. Kurt Busch fifth. Jack Sprague sixth. He's had a great run. And that zero net zero car. Funny. The zero net zero car, huh? I guess that's why they made it number 0. After Mark Martin, Mayfield, Steve Park, Jeff Green. Lap 19 out of 51. Green flag as Johnny Benson, your leader right now, but Jamie McMurray close behind. That 42 car taking the high line, that might be a mistake, as he now has to contend with the lap down car of Tony Raines as Ryan Newman pushes away up to second. And something wrong with this 74 car. Uh-oh, McMurray, trouble. McMurray and Nadeau around. McMurray spins around. Caution flag is out. And just tough luck for Jamie McMurray. He was in second place. Yeah, Tony Raines should get the black flag. He was blocking that 42 car. Unacceptable. I know he's a rookie and all, but Jamie McMurray also a rookie, so you really have no excuse there from Tony Raines. We're just lucky that McMurray didn't hit anybody, and he only has minor damage to his car. But just frustrating for that 42 team doing so well and then get pushed to the back like that after a mistake from an inexperienced driver. I imagine some keywords will be spoken after the race between the crew members, but oh my god, what happened? What the hell? I've never seen anything like this. Tony Stewart and Michael Waltrip. Oh my god, I hope they're okay. Stewart gets turned into an exposed part of the track and gets caught in the catch fence. Pray to God he's okay. That's a hard hit. Stewart got turned by Waltrip, and Stewart's car got hit and got caught up into the catch fence and got stuck. Oh my god, I've never seen anything like that. Waltrip's car view. Look at this. That was a stupid error by Michael Waltrip. Not much you could do about that. He and Stewart were racing back to the caution. Thankfully, Stewart has walked out of the car, so now it's 2 accidents that they've walked out under their own power that I'm just amazed that neither of these guys are seriously injured. Look at Tony Stewart's car. Look at that. It's destroyed. It's a miracle that both of these drivers, Stewart, Waltrip, are okay. But yeah, that's going to be the second caution of the race. Man, it's just an ugly wreck. I only got anything like that. Waltrip spun Stewart, and Stewart's car caught air and hit the catch fence. So a terrible, terrible wreck here. That could have been a lot worse, though. As Tony Stewart, obviously, he's going to be sent to the infirmary, similar to Dave Blaney, who's already been released. And, man, Tony Stewart, I just feel bad for him. He was doing pretty good. He was running in the top 10. His day is over due to that wreck. Same with Michael Waltrip. I think Stewart was 10th and Waltrip 11th. Now both those drivers are out. Johnny Benson, your leader after coming to the green flag on lap 24 here. Johnny Benson, your leader. Ryan Newman second. And Jeff Gordon third. And Tony Raines has not been penalized by NASCAR, but I think the fact that his car is doing so bad kind of speaks for itself, as he's losing so many positions. Gordon up to second. Look at Jack Sprague. Definitely a contender for Rookie of the Race now that McMurray's right now in last. As Joe Nemechek, he's on the apron. He's got problems. but no caution for him. Johnny Benson could perform an upset, get the win here at Texas, but he has to hold off a couple hard-charging cars. Let's take a look at Jamie McMurray right now. I feel so bad for him. He's definitely not going to get a top 25 finish unless he can scrap together his damaged car and pull a miracle off. Tough luck because he was in the top 10. And Tony Raines again. What is he thinking? Blocking the 99 car of Jeff Burton. Get that guy off the field, honestly. He should be penalized. Just the way he's driving so aggressive, despite being lapped down and having an inferior car. As right now he's contending with Steve Park. Right now, Jeff Gordon making the lead change as he's getting past the 10 of Johnny Benson. Jeff Gordon, your new leader, but here comes Mark Martin. Jeff Gordon, your new leader after 26 laps. 46, it's a battle for the lead between Kurt Busch and Jeff Gordon. And Busch getting ahead, but he's got to deal with the lap traffic of Casey Mears. We are just 4 laps left. Laps 47 out of 51 now. And that 97 car holding on to the lead, but for how long? As, yeah, now he runs right into the rear of Casey Mears. This is going to allow Jeff Gordon to try and get around. But if Mears goes to the high side, actually here comes Mark Martin. He's going to try and make it his second one race of the year. Mark Martin making it through Ed for the lead, but he won't be able to get the position. Ryan Newman, the best driver in the field not to have a win. He's second in the points standings, but he has multiple top 5s this season. As Kurt Busch leading, he could get his first win of the year, which would be great considering he wrecked the first 4 races and was outside of the top 35 for a period. Lap 50, and we've got cars running out of fuel. Just 2 laps left for the 97 team, but will they be able to make it? It's going to be a fuel race now. Coming to the white flag for Kurt Busch. Can he get the win? Right now, Mark Martin second. So Roush could go 1 and 2 on the day, but it's all going to depend on if that 97 car has enough fuel to last. Mark Martin second right now. Ryan Newman third. Can the 97 team have enough fuel? It all comes down to this. Checkered flag, and Kurt Busch is going to get his first one of the year. So Kurt Busch breaking a rough streak where he wrecked in the first 4 races. And I bet it feels good to be that 97 team right now. Going through all that adversity and challenge, finally getting a win. Kurt Busch winning. Mark Martin second. Another second place finish for that 6 team. They've been really good this year. Third, Ryan Newman. 4th, Jeff Gordon. 5th, Greg Biffle. Another good result for that rookie. 6th, Ricky Craven. I don't know what the rest after that because we had a lot of cars that pit due to lack of fuel. Your winner of the first Texas race, Kurt Busch, and a feel-good win for that 97 team. Welcome everyone to the Aaron's 499 at Talladega. We are here today for race 8 in the 2003 Winston Cup season. It's definitely going to be an exciting race. You know, Talladega always unpredictable and home to many great races and moments in NASCAR history. So going down the field, starting on the pole today, Ryan Newman, your points leader today, or coming into the day, sorry. He hasn't led any laps, but he's gotten 3 top 5s and a top 10 nearly every race. I believe he has 6 top 10s. So a very consistent start to the year for Ryan Newman. Let's see if he can get his first one today. Starting second, Jimmy Johnson, the 48 Lowe's Monte Carlo. Starting third, Jimmy Johnson's teammate, Jeff Gordon. Starting fourth, Dale Jarrett in the 88 UPS car. Starting fifth, kind of a surprise here, but it's Kyle Petty in the 45 car. He's actually I believe 33rd in points, almost a go-go homer, but a great qualifying run for that 45 team. Starting 6th, Kurt Busch, last week's winner in the 97 Rubbermaid Ford Taurus. Starting 7th, Bill Elliott in the 9 Dodge Interbred. Starting 8th, Matt Kenseth in the 17 DeWalt Ford Taurus. Starting 9th, a good qualifying run for Kenny Wallace in the 23 Stacker 2 Dodge for Bill Davis Racing. His best qualifying run of the year so far. So Kenny Wallace starting 9th. And running out the top 10, Tony Stewart and the 20 Home Depot Monte Carlo. So going through the rest of the field, obviously being a restrictor plate race, there was a lot of entries for today's race. Some drivers made it in, some did not. Some key drivers that made it in include Joe Nemechek, Jerry Nadeau, Casey Mears made it in, Casey Atwood, and Christian Fittipaldi, both those drivers making their first starts with their respective teams, Evernham Motorsports and Petty Enterprises. Hideo Fukuyama has yet again qualified for a race. He's made every race that he's attempted, so very good job for that team. Ken Schrader making it in. Boris Said in the 54 car, fill-in driver for Todd Bodine qualifying on time. And an interesting twist here, David Green actually qualified 42nd in the 60 car, but his time was disallowed because he failed a post-race inspection. So that's going to allow Larry Foyt in the 14 car to come in because he had the next highest time. So that's the field right now. Now we've got our field set. Let's get those engines started. Start off this 22-lap event, the Aaron's 499 at Talladega. Ryan Newman, Jimmy Johnson leading him off for the start of this race at Talladega. 22 laps, only one winner here. Green flag for the Aaron's 499. I guess the big question here, will we see the lap 1 caution? We saw it at Daytona. We've seen it, I believe, 3 times in the 7 races that we've completed. Will this be the 4th race? As Ryan Newman, he's got a good start right here. He has not led a lap yet, surprisingly enough, but he has been the most consistent driver, taking the top spot in points right now. So going on, it looks like Robbie Gordon brushed the wall a little bit, as we are clean so far. Dale Jarrett up to 2nd, and Kyle Petty actually in 3rd right now. And that 45 team definitely needs a good position here to get out of the top 13 points. Uh-oh, Kyle Petty got a little bit loose there with Bill Elliott. Does he run down the field here? Uh-oh. Car in the wall. That's Ward Burden. Christian Fittipaldi, Larry Foyt, Kevin Harvick. We got our first wreck of the day. And Ryan Newman going to lead him back to the yellow flag. Let's take a look, see what happened. It seems like Elliott Sadler and Kevin Harvick got a bit loose there. And Harvick went up. He hit Ward Burden, and they wrecked. Casey Atwood getting some damage in the 91 car. Christian Fittipaldi around Jack Sprague. Jack Sprague had his first top 10 of his career last week. Minor damage to some of these cars. Let's take a look at Casey Atwood's view of this wreck in the 91 Mountain Dew Livewire car. So yeah, it looks like just some cars got loose. Unfortunately, they were racing too tight. And Casey Atwood accidentally turns around Jack Sprague, and he taps Kevin Harvick there. Mountain Dew cam right there. So Casey Atwood got some minor damage. A few cars got some minor damage. I don't think anybody had enough damage to leave the race. Aside from maybe Jeff Green and Ward Burden, those drivers got some serious damage. But Ryan Newman leading after 2 laps at Talladega. 2 drivers out of the race. Jeff Green retiring due to accident damage, and Boris Said starting and parking. Back to green flag here. We got 40 cars left in this field. As Dale Jarrett tries to go to the high side for a pass, and that turns out to be a mistake as he loses his position to Kyle Petty. Kenny Wallace and Ricky Craven taking the high side as well, and that high side doesn't seem to be working yet, as not enough drivers able to make a draft work. Ryan Newman's still your leader. He's been doing a pretty good job. I mean, he's only had 1 green flag lap to hold off the field, but still, we've seen some drivers start on the pole and then fall back right away. As Bill Elliott working his way up to 2nd. Now Kyle Petty getting shuffled to the outside. I think we're going to have our first full green flag lap of the day. Coming down the final turn, and Ryan Newman, he's going to lead this lap. Jimmy Johnson up to 3rd. We haven't talked about him this much this season. He had a big breakout season as a rookie last year, getting 3 wins. And so far, only one top 5 for that team. Is Michael Waltrip around? Big wreck. The big one at Daytona. Kyle Petty involved. Elliott Sadler, Jerry Mayfield, Hideo Fukuyama. And let's see what happened. This big wreck taking out several drivers. So Michael Waltrip went up to the middle line and then regretted he came down and ended up coming right into Kyle Petty there. And then cars just colliding into that pack. So a big wreck, taking out several drivers. Look at that, Mark Martin just got T-boned there by Kevin Harvick. Nowhere to go. Let's take another view of this wreck. Yeah, Waltrip kind of regretted going to the middle line. He tried to come back down, but not enough space. And look at that, Mark Martin just taking some serious hits. I hope he's okay. He's walked out of the car, so he should be fine. We're going to take him to the infirmary, obviously, but his car is destroyed. He just got towed back to the pit stop there, and he's got not even a full car left. So many parts have come off the car. Big wreck. Taking out several of the favorites to win. Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart, Martin, Kevin Harvick, Robbie Gordon, all involved in this crash. Ryan Newman, your leader, and Rusty Wallace, his teammate, up to second place, as we are now under caution for the second time today. Lap 8 out of 22, and we got pit stops. Kyle Petty, I feel bad for him. He was having his best run of the year, and he's already out. Ryan Newman winning the race off pit road. Jimmy Johnson up to second now. We are just at the halfway point right now. We only have 26 cars left, and we are coming back to green. It'll be lap 12 out of 22. Ryan Newman, he's led every lap so far. Can he keep up that performance? I don't know, but green flag at Talladega. The 48 car of Jimmy Johnson trying to find a way around Ryan Newman, but Newman has been looking unstoppable so far. Nobody able to get around him. Matt Kenseth up to third. He has not won a race yet this year, and Talladega would definitely be a big win for him. Here comes Matt Kenseth, looking to make a pass for second. And he gets the nose under Jimmy Johnson, and that's going to force Jimmy Johnson to the high side. I mean, obviously, pulling a Michael Waltrip and trying to block there would lead to a wreck. And here comes Rusty Wallace. He's going to try and make up 3 wide for the lead, but actually, no, Jimmy Johnson fell back to 4th, so that's not going to be 3 wide. Ryan Newman, clear leader. Let's look through the field. Obviously, we got some damaged cars in the back. Christian Fittipaldi, Tony Stewart, Casey Atwood. And look at this pack. Kind of falling off the pace here, a couple drivers, including Ward Byrne and John Andretti, Dale Jr., Jimmy Spencer. Actually, Spencer trying to go low. This is pretty risky racing here. Up at the front, though. Here comes Rusty Wallace. He's going to try and make the first lead change of the day. And he gets the nose under. Now, Rusty Wallace, he has already won 2 races this year, and he's going to try and make it his 3rd win as he takes the lead from Ryan Newman. Kenny Wallace up to 3rd. It would be a pretty big upset to see that 23 car in victory lane, as we haven't seen Kenny Wallace near the front of the pack at all this year. And Rusty Wallace edging out Ryan Newman to lead that lap. Bill Elliott trying to go under, make a shot at the lead. The 9 car is Ricky Craven now to the high side. Coming to the white flag, 1 lap to go. Ryan Newman leading on the final lap as Bill Elliott's going to go under. Bill Elliott making the last lap pass for the lead. That 9 car is taking the top spot. Dodge is right now holding 4 of the top 5 spots. As Rusty Wallace now, he's going to try and make an attempt for the lead. Can Bill Elliott hold off that 2 car, or will Rusty Wallace get his 3rd win of the season? Bill Elliott in front of the 2 car right now. All comes down to this. Can the 2 get around Bill Elliott? Coming off the final backstretch here. And Ricky Craven, he's going to try and make a charge for 2nd. Coming to the checkered flag, Bill Elliott wins the Aaron's 499. a big win for Evernham Motorsports is Bill Elliott taking the checkered flag. Rusty Wallace, I think he just edged out Ricky Kramer second as we got a caution. Oh my god, a huge wreck on the final lap. Let's see what happened. Jerry Nadeau, Johnny Benson, and Sterling Marlin Turley all got together. That caused Nadeau to spin around. Bam! Look at that. Matt Kenseth hits him hard and flips over multiple times. Dale Jr. involved, Jimmy Spencer all hitting Matt Kenseth. Just pay attention to the 17 car. Look at the air he gets. Matt Kenseth must have hit that 0-1 car at a bad angle. Jerry Nadeau is actually a Gorgo homer. Oh my god. I just hope Matt Kenseth's okay. Same with Dale Jr. He had a hard hit right there. But that's going to do it. Bill Elliott getting a big win in his final full-time year, taking home the checkered flag at the Aaron's 499.